Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH and I'm back for another iOS accessible game video for you this time. And today we're going to take a look at a game that came out a little while ago. I'm finally getting around to just checking it out now. The game we're looking at is called Blindfold Bowling. Now, there are a bunch of other games, probably I think a good half a dozen or more games in the Blindfold series. I think the first one that they came out with was Blindfold Racing, and it was it was okay, but I was hoping that it was going to be like more actual like cars and racing, but it was really kind of I mean I appreciate what they're trying to do. They're making kid-friendly games, which I totally approve of, but it was. I don't know, it just didn't, it didn't have kind of more of like a realistic racing thing or even like an arcadey racing thing. It was really kind of, kind of like cartoony sound effects and just some of that stuff can work, but I just didn't really care for it. They do have some other games. I think there's a Simon one, like the basically repeat pattern, like the old Simon game in the 80s and stuff like that. I can't even remember. Maybe when I launched the game
Blindfold Bowling.
Blindfold Bowling. When I launched it earlier, it told me of their other games. Let's launch it here and see if it actually
Blindfold
says
Bowling.
anything.
Our other games. Heading.
Yeah, so here we go. So when we start, let's go see what they have, just so you can see.
Here are other games in the Blindfold series. Tap on a game to get it from the App Store. Otherwise, tap the skip button. You can turn off this screen in settings.
I suppose I could,
Audio
what I
destination.
forgot to do.
Headings. Volume. Speech rate. 40%.
40 should be okay.
Words. Characters.
I usually have my voice at like 55%, so I forgot to slow it down.
Here are other games in the Blindfold series. Tap on a game to get it from the App Store. Otherwise, tap the skip button. You can turn off this screen in settings.
All right, so we will just swipe through and I'll let you hear what they have.
Blindfold Breakout. Breakout game where you smash bricks with a ball, similar to the arcade game.
That could be kind of neat, actually. I might have to check that out at some point. Maybe we'll look at that on the channel.
Blindfold Cryptogram. Hundreds of new quotes added to this letter substitution puzzle game.
That could be good, actually.
Blindfold Roulette. Play roulette just like in Las Vegas.
I have no idea even really how to play roulette, so I have no idea.
Blindfold Hopper. New version. More levels and challenges. A cross between the old video game Frogger and frustratingly popular game Flappy Bird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, maybe some of these I will have to check out at some point. I really kind of didn't follow them after playing the racing game, but actually it sounds like they're making some kind of interesting stuff. I remember playing Frogger all the time back in the 2600 days.
Blindfold Pong. Pong game similar to the classic arcade game.
Okay, Pong.
Blindfold Dominoes. Dominoes game where you play until you are out of tiles or blocked.
Yeah, all right.
Blindfold Hearts. Hearts card game where you avoid collecting hearts or you can shoot the moon.
My friend would love this game. They just need to make a spades one, and I think he'll be very, very happy.
Blindfold Simon. My Simon type game where you follow patterns based on gestures and sounds.
Yeah, there's the Simon one.
Blindfold Spades. Spades card game where you bid and collect tricks as you win each hand.
They do. They do have spades. Oh, wow. Wow, I haven't kept up with these in a long time, actually. That's interesting. The key component here is, do these or will these games have multiplayer at some point, especially the card games? Because if they do, like I said, a friend or two of mine are going to be very, very happy, and I can see him being very addicted to those games. Back when we lived closer together, we used to play cards on the weekend quite a bit.
Blindfold War. The classic war card game where you try to collect all the cards.
All right.
Blindfold Solitaire. Solitaire card games including Klondike, Spike, Blindfold Wildcard, and Uno-like card game.
Okay.
Blindfold Racer. Drive your car using your ears, not your eyes.
Yeah, there's the racer. So actually, I'm sorry, developers. I kind of wrote you off. I'll have to look into some of these games myself. Actually, some of them look pretty interesting. I didn't realize that they made this many games. So, cool. Yay for them, I guess. Like I said, I kind of dismissed them a little bit too quickly. Let's skip this.
Skip button. Skip.
Welcome to Blindfold
Bowling main
Bowling.
menu.
To learn how to play, tap the Help button.
Okay, so basically it's a very simple game. I've played a round or two of this just to see how it worked. I will go through and I can leave. The nice thing is I can leave voiceover on. It is self-voicing, but you don't have to turn it off in order for the game to work. So I'll start at the top.
Selected. 10 pin. 1 player. Simple throw.
Okay, I'll explain that in a minute.
10 pin, 1 player, 1 finger aim and throw. 10 pin, 1 player, 2 finger aim and throw. 10 pin, you in computer, simple throw. Help button. Settings button. Get upgrades button.
Okay, so there are all the options. So I have a few different ways to play.
Selected 10 pin, 1 player, simple throw.
1 player I can throw with a simple throw with 1 finger, a more complicated throw with 1 finger, or a 2-finger more complicated throw. Now, typically what do they call it here?
10 pin, 1 player, 1 finger aim and throw.
Aim and throw. This is more what I would assume a touchscreen bowling game to be. The simple throw is a little bit too simple, and I think like the way I play it, it doesn't take into account the way that I would normally play bowling. Simple throw is you basically put your finger on the screen. You have the phone or tablet in portrait orientation, and you just put your finger left to right wherever you want to start, and then just flick up. So if you want to aim down the middle, you put it in the bottom middle of the screen and then flick up. Likewise, more left or right, whatever. Aim and throw is where you can slide back and forth to choose your starting point, but you don't just flick up to throw. You can kind of flick up, but you can kind of aim it. So, when I bowl in real life, I will be a little bit more to my right side of the lane because I'm right-handed, and I tend to have kind of a wicked left curve. So I typically, like I said, stand more to the right, and then I kind of naturally throw it, and then hopefully it'll go into the center of the lane instead of, off God knows where. So I'll start and I'll show you the simple one, just so you can see it.
Selected 10 pin, 1 player,
So I'll
simple
double
throw.
tap.
10 pin, 1 player, simple throw.
Using 1 coin to play, you have 6 coins left. To get more coins, click Get Upgrades. To go back to the main menu, swipe up with 3 fingers. Starting game, 10 pin, 1 player, simple throw. It's your turn. Move your finger left and right, and then flick it. The ball will travel straight towards the pins.
Right, so what we're taking into account here is that we don't have to worry about, when I'm moving my finger up, I don't have to worry that I kind of did it crooked or whatever. It'll always go straight up. And believe it or not, a lot of times for me, that actually is a detriment, because I will, I just naturally, I instinctively want to have a little bit of spin on my ball. So we are going to touch the screen here in the middle.
Center.
Okay.
You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7, 8. Throw your second ball.
All right, so it tells me the 7 and 8 pins are left, which you, for those unaware of bowling, you basically, have like a triangle. You have the 1 pin in the front, and then you have 2, 3 behind it, kind of offset, and then 4, 5, 6 offset behind that, and then 7, 8, 9, 10 going from left to right. So the 2 that I have are on the left, so we're going to aim sort of kind of more toward the left, but not all the way.
2, 3.
You knocked over 1 pin, leaving 1 pin standing.
No.
7. You scored 9 points. It's your turn. Frame 2. Throw your first ball.
Now visually, it is very, very, very simple. You just got a white background, and then you see, if you have some vision, you can see the orientation of where the pins are. But I'm not playing this by looking at the screen. I'm trying to do this, like I said, demonstrating this from a complete audio perspective. I noticed when the lady talks, like the sound is it seems really compressed. Like it seems really, the sound effects aren't too bad, but it almost sounds like the actual speech is compressed or kind of like a lower recording quality or something. Not, kind of nitpicky, I guess, but I mean, just want something that I noticed. So let's throw another frame here. And
Center 1.
You knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing. 1, 2, 4, 7. Throw your second ball.
See, here's where the simple throw is going to screw me, because I can only throw straight up. I can't, basically it looks like you're going from 1, 2, 4, and 7. I'd like to go, you know, kind of up into the left, but I can't. So let's go in the middle and hope that I can at least knock a few.
1.
I don't think I got
You
all of
knocked
them.
over 2 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 4. 7. You
All right.
scored 8 points. It's your turn. Frame 3. Throw your first ball.
Now, I'm just gonna play through this really quickly to get through, because I just want to see what my final score is going to be. What the nice thing that I do appreciate is that you don't have to wait for her to finish all the time. So, you know, it's like, okay, you know what you did, okay, boom, and you don't have to listen to it tell the score, blah, 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 every time. I'm just going to throw here.
Turn.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 7. 8. 10. Throw your second ball.
I wouldn't call that great.
3.
Ugh.
You knocked over 1 pin, leaving 2 pins standing.
So now I'm just going to
7.
throw.
10.
Center.
You made a strike.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
There we go.
Frame 5. Throw your first ball. You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7. 8. Throw your second ball.
Okay. And,
3.
You knocked over 1 pin, leaving 1 pin standing. 7. You scored 9 points. It's your turn. Frame 6. Throw your
6.
first ball.
Center.
You made a strike.
Okay.
It's your turn. Frame 7.
Center.
You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7. 8.
Man, I really
Throw
like
your
that
second
7,
ball.
8 in this simple mode, don't I?
4.
Let's try.
You knocked over 1 pin, leaving 1 pin standing.
get in between.
8. You scored 9 points. It's your turn. Frame 8. Throw your first ball.
I'm curious, actually. Let's throw here.
Center.
You made a strike.
All right.
It's your turn. Frame 9.
Okay,
Throw your
2 more
first ball.
frames.
1.
You made a strike.
Nice.
It's your turn. Frame 10.
Come on,
Throw your
turkey.
first ball.
Center.
You knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1
Oh, I
pin
was
standing.
going for the turkey.
7. Throw your second ball.
Triple strike, by the way. Okay, 7. So,
5.
boom.
You made a spare.
Nice.
It's your turn. Throw your bonus ball.
Alright, so with the spare on the end of the 10th frame, I get 1 bonus throw. So let's make it good.
Center.
You made a strike.
Yeah,
You scored
I
20
did.
points. You scored a total of 183 points.
I can
Game
live
is
with
over.
that.
Swipe up with 3 fingers to return to the main menu, or swipe up with 1 finger to play again.
Okay, so we're going to swipe up with 3.
Selected.
We're
10
back
pin,
at the
1
main
player.
menu now. I
Symbol
will
throw.
show you the... I haven't actually done the 2-finger throw yet, but I've done the 1-finger aim and throw, and I'll show you that one. The one thing that I do hope that they add is you can only
10 pin.
play
U in computer. 10 pin. U in computer. Simple throw.
the U in computer. You can only play it as a simple throw. They should really have the other 2 options for you in the computer, because I would prefer, like I said, to do the aim and throw, not just the simple. So let's do a single player.
10 pin. 1 player. 1 finger aim and throw.
Aim and throw.
10 pin. 1 player. 1 finger aim and
Using
throw.
1 coin to play. To go back to the main menu, swipe up with 3 fingers. Starting game. 10 pin. 1 player. 1 finger aim and throw. It's your turn. Move your finger left and right to position yourself on the bowling alley. Then stop moving for a second, and then aim your flick at the pins you want to hit.
So, right, you put your finger down, you wait for a little vibration and a sound effect, and then you kind of throw either straight up or at whatever angle you want. So that's kind of cool. What I didn't mention right away is that this is a game, it is free, but they have this sort of token system where I'm guessing it recharges over time. You know, typical freemium games. It's like, you know, on the main menu you saw the buy upgrades thing. We may look at that if I remember to do that before we wrap up. I just want to see if there's like a permanently, like, I want to play as much as I want to play. Like, let me just pay like $3 or $5 or whatever it is. I don't necessarily mind. Like, you know, if I like the game, I will totally pay for it. But give me an option to just buy it and be done, you know? And that way I own it for good. I know they don't potentially make as much money that way, but I just prefer to own things that way. So, enough of that. Let's see how well we do in this mode. So now I did 183 last time.
1. Center.
Oh.
You knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing. 2, 4, 7, 10. Throw your second ball.
Ish. That's horrible. Okay, well.
1. 4.
You knocked over 2 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7,
That's rough.
10.
All right, let's
You
try
scored
this
8 points.
2. 1. 1.
Are you kidding
You
me?
knocked over 6 pins, leaving 4 pins standing.
I'm looking at
2,
the screen.
4, 7, 10.
The same
Throw your second
thing.
ball.
That's awful. That is horrible.
3.
Okay, got it.
You knocked over 3 pins, leaving 1 pin standing. 10.
Let's go more to the
4.
right here.
3. 1.
Oh, that's worse.
You knocked over 4 pins,
Wow.
leaving 6 pins standing. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. Throw your second ball.
Good God.
4.
You knocked over 4 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 6, 10. You
We're
scored
not
8
going to do as
points.
well this time,
It's
you
your turn.
guys.
Frame 4.
Center.
Well, that's better than we're doing.
You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing.
3. 4.
Did I get them both?
You made a spare.
Yay.
It's your turn. Frame 5. Throw your first ball.
And...
Center.
You made a strike.
There we
It's
go.
your turn. Frames. You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7, 8.
No,
Throw
that
your
pattern
second
again.
ball.
Okay.
4. 3. 4.
Hit them both. Man. I can't
You made
get...
a spare.
Oh, I did.
It's your turn.
Nice.
Frame 7. Throw your first ball.
All right.
1. Center.
What are we, frame 7?
Center.
That sounded good.
You knocked over 9 pins,
Ow,
leaving 1
okay.
pin standing.
Which one?
7.
Okay.
Throw your second.
Far left. Okay, we
You made a
spared
spare. It's your turn. Frame 8.
Frame
Throw your
8.
first.
1.
it. Oh no, I looked at the screen.
You knocked over 8 pins, leaving 2 pins standing. 7, 10. Throw your second
7-10
ball.
split. The most horrific split in bowling. Well, we're just going to shoot for 9, I guess. 'Cause- What?
You didn't.
Oh. Yeah, that little honking noise is basically... You have
You
to
knocked
hold
over
your
1 pin,
finger there.
leaving 1 pin standing. 10.
let it register
You
before
scored
you
9
actually
points.
throw.
It's your turn. Frame 9.
Frame
Throw your
9.
first ball.
1.
Chuck it.
Center.
You knocked over 9 pins,
right.
leaving 1 pin standing. 7. Throw your.
5.
Oh, damn it.
You didn't cross your finger prior to flip.
Yeah. Shut up. Come on.
4.
You made a spare. It's your turn. Frame 10.
Frame
Throw
10,
your
here we
first
go.
ball.
Come on, strike. Let's do
Center.
this. Ding ding.
Center.
Arg!
You knocked over 9 pins, leaving 1 pin
4.
Yeah, I looked at the screen. It's a 7. Again! Really?
You made a spare.
Okay, I was gonna say, how
it's
did
your
I miss
turn.
that?
Throw your bonus ball.
Alright, bonus
Center.
ball.
1.
I guarantee you this isn't going to be in 183. Oh, ish.
You knocked over 7 pins, leaving 3 pins standing. 6, 7, 10. You scored 17 points. You scored a total of 160 points. Game is over. Swipe up with 3 fingers to return to the main menu, or swipe up with 1 finger to play again.
Alright, so 3 fingers. And we're
Selected.
back at the main
10 pin.
menu.
1 player.
So
1 finger aim
that's
and
pretty
throw.
much, I mean, like I said, I didn't show you the 2-finger throw, but I'll let you guys discover that one on your own. I got to look at that myself yet. But, you know, it's a simple bowling game. It's definitely, you know, really accessible. I mean, you can leave voiceover running, and it's fine. Totally accessible if you have no vision at all, which is great. You know, a few things, like the core game itself, I think, is actually fine. Couple things I would like to see them add maybe in a future version is the ability to play the computer in the other 2 throwing styles. And I wouldn't mind actually having a internet thing, maybe through Game Center. What would be kind of cool is you could maybe do either a live game and just take turns. Maybe you could have like a pass and play. You could have a few different modes actually. You could have a pass and play. So I play my frame. You could tell it how many numbers, like, you know, 1 through 4 or something. You could say, like, have a mode for a pass and play. And then you could say, okay, I'm going to throw my frame and then just pass it along until you just repeat until you finish the game. For online, you could have a couple of different modes. You could have like a live thing where you connect maybe through Game Center or something. And again, you just take turns and play until whoever wins, or play your 10 frames. But what you could also do with the way bowling works, you could do, again, through Game Center or through whatever means, you could do like a asynchronous play, sort of like, I haven't covered the game on the channel yet, but Trivia Crack, I remember playing that a little bit with a few friends of mine, early this year I think it was. And, you know, you could play your frame, and then it could send them a notification, and they would have, you know, so long to just pick up their game and play their frame. And you could go kind of back and forth, kind of like how you used to play the old email games of like checkers or chess back and forth. You know, you play your part, mail it off or send it off, and then they play their part. But it could be a lot faster. So a couple of ways you could do that. So yeah, you know, adding multiplayer could be a good way to make the thing more interesting. And I said before that before I wrap this up, let's check.
Get upgrades button.
Let's see what the get upgrades says.
Get upgrades. 20 coins, $0.9920 more games of bowling.
Okay, 20
coins, $0.9920 more games of bowling.
So 20 plays essentially.
250 coins, $9.99250 more games of bowling.
Not what?
250 coins, $9.99250 more games of bowling.
Okay. Oh, weird. Okay, so that. Oh, okay.
Limited coins $14.99 unlimited gameplay $14.99.
Okay, so you do have an option, $14.99, so $15. I think for this particular game, like, I probably wouldn't pay that. I mean, it's an okay game. Like, I don't mind playing it. Actually, it's kind of fun. But I don't see myself playing it maybe that much. 15 might be, if they added like multiplayer and a few, you know, expanded the gameplay a little bit with some of the things I just suggested, you know, maybe, sure. But I can think of like, you know, some really crazy in-depth games that are $15. But like I said earlier, I'm pleased that they do offer that as a potential avenue. So good on them. Let's see what else we have.
Tap to earn coins for videos. 1 video earns 1 blindfold. You have 0 blindfolds and need 3 blindfolds for 1 coin.
Okay, so you get to watch. Okay, so yeah, you can watch an ad.
You have 5 coins. To play a game, you need 1 coin.
Okay, so that's fair. I mean, you can watch ads to earn more. You can pay, and it's, you know, a little bit higher than, what was it?
20 coins, $0.9920 more games of bowling.
20 coins for, I mean, like I said, I'm guessing they recharge over time. I'm hoping that they do. Maybe they don't. Maybe you do have to pay. I'm just speaking from past experience with the way most free-to-play or freemium games work. You know, usually there's okay, you use all your lives or your gems or whatever it is, and, you know, over time, you leave your game alone and then they just regenerate. I guess I won't say Whether that happens here or there, I'm just guessing that's what happens, but at least you are given some options. I can pay for it outright for 15 bucks. I can buy a few coins, a couple of ways, and I can watch some ads if I really want to, if I want to play some more Blindfold Bowling. That is Blindfold Bowling, though, for iOS. It is available for free in the App Store right now. And as you saw at the beginning of the video, there may be some more potential accessible games to cover from these guys. Actually, a few of them sound rather interesting, so we will maybe explore those at a further date. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys again later.